Five,
Five,
four,
four,
three,
three,
two,
two,
1. You are now live.
And thank you for having me, Kobe. This is fun.
You can go from winning a Super Bowl to being the first team to win.
This guy was good.
How long have you worked in the radio industry? What up? It is your boy, Call Me Crazy, aka Kobe Nasir Wallace. And today I have a lot of great things planned. As you know, starting a podcast, you never want to be one-dimensional. You always want to bring in some new things, be innovative, fresh content so that people continue to tune in. Y'all have been tuning in, y'all have been turning me up. But today, I am starting a new line of exclusive interviews. And of course, you gotta start at the top. You gotta start with the big dogs. So of course, I will be getting some local talent, some local artists, some local fashion models, some local influencers, some local philanthropists, and public figures to come on the Crazy Talk podcast so that we can get to know them just a little bit more. And today is no different. Today is the first exclusive interview for the Crazy Talk podcast, and I couldn't go with no one else. Today, welcoming to the Crazy Talk podcast, we have a former athlete, businessman, model, fashion influencer, father of three, first generation college graduate, Wilmington socialite and philanthropist, Brandon Wallace, aka THEEFASHIONDAD, aka B Wallace. What's up, B?
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Proud of you, man.
And if y'all don't know, yes, B Wallace, Kobe Wallace, this is my older cousin by blood. His mom is my auntie. My mom is his auntie. Shit like that, you know? So today, we are going to get to know B Wallace, as you guys all know him from Instagram, from TikTok, from Twitter, back in the day, from Pincater, wherever you may know him from. Today, you will get to know him a lot better because we will be talking about life as a father. We will be talking about growing up in Wilmington, growing up being raised by a single mother, and how it all affected him. So what I want to start is basically, what was your upbringing like? Like, how did you grow up? Did you grow up with, two-parent household? Did you grow up with a single mom? What was your upbringing like?
So, I grew up with a single mom, but I still had a village.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My dad died when I was 5.
Okay.
But I had my mom, my aunts, my grandma, my grandpa,
Right.
my little cousin, my little brother. It was a period of time where we all lived in one house.
Yeah.
So you know how it is. We all had the village there. It was great support, but I had the single mom life.
And would you say that? How would you say the structure of your upbringing? Like you said, your father passed on when you were very young. You at one point you lived with almost your entire immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say the structure of your upbringing shaped like who you are today?
So I'm very family centered,
Right.
and that comes from how I was raised. That time period of just living with my whole immediate family.
Right.
So it just the way I am now, just how I am, very family first,
Right.
very family centered. So that kind of molded me to where everybody see now, the fashion dad and
Right.
the family man and everything
Okay.
I do today.
And so I want to talk a little bit about your upbringing, kind of like outside of the house and kind of outside of the family structure. How was growing up in Wilmington, and how do you think growing up in Wilmington, in a city like Wilmington, kind of shaped how you are shaped your social perspective?
So right now, growing up in Wilmington, I wouldn't even just keep it to Wilmington. It's Delaware as a whole. So, like I be telling my fiance, like a lot of people know B. Wallace and know who I am because of my upbringing. So like I went to school in almost every school district. Like when I grew up, I went to Warner, then I went to PS, then I went to Tally, then I went to Newcastle to a charter school, Pincater. So, and then at Pincater, they bus kids from everywhere. So I think that played a part in like the popularity and everybody knowing who I am. But also at the same time, it's not really so much code switching, but you just learn how to, engage and operate in different environments.
Right.
So I learned that at an early age. I learned like how to not give into peer pressure, how to know right from wrong. Just seeing people go through things, and then the most important thing in life is like making decisions. So I learned
Right.
that at a very early age. Like you got to make the right decisions in life.
And how to look at someone else's life and kind of use their decisions to
Exactly.
to
Look at other people, not only their mistakes, but the good things they do, and then
right.
kind of follow suit and apply it to your own life.
Right. Okay. That's and so that kind of also goes into this next question. How was your academic and social life growing up? Like, were you good in school? Did you have a lot of friends? Were you, well known? How was that?
I was more like a popular loner, so everybody knew who I was. But I always stuck to my one or two friends. So at an early age, I did have a lot of friends. Some things happen, and you start to figure out like some people are not your friends.
Right.
So I would say like right after middle school, I kind of stuck with one person. Everybody knew who that is, Leak. To this day, I would consider him like my only friend or best friend. Um, so that's kind of how you know I kind of grew up academically. I tell people all the time, like, and we're going to get into this part though, because the academic played a lot of part into like where I am now.
Right.
But I was one of those kids that was very likable,
Okay.
And I was good in sports. So like, I never knew what my GPA was until college coaches came looking for me.
Okay.
Or came, recruiting me. So I was one of those kids that was like, I would go to school and I'm just getting through the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was intelligent, but I never really had to do much because everybody's like, he's good, he's charming, he's handsome, like passing.
We're gonna dig into
like passing, right. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how it looked academically.
Okay, and that kind of goes into, like you said, into how you were in sports, right? So how did not really having to do the full scope of what school entails? How did that kind of shape who you were on the field? Did you go extra on the field because you knew that you were getting this pass in school?
I would say it didn't make me go extra on the field. It was more so off the field. So I'll give you a quick little story. It was things like we might be in some type of elective. Let's say we in SAT prep, right? Instead of being in SAT prep, I was in the coach's office catching 100 footballs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to get that hand-eye coordination, trying to make sure, I can catch from every angle. Right. So, the typical student, you're supposed to be in that class. Prep, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be in SAT prep. Instead, I'm in the coach's office, practicing football.
Right.
Yeah.
Working on your craft.
Yep.
Okay, and so growing up, what were your goals and aspirations? Like, you are a very good football player, but you also play basketball as well. What were in the mind of your younger self? What were those goals?
So I just started to realize as an adult and as certain things started happening to me in college, like what my real goal was. So when I talk to the youth now, instead of asking them like, what you want to be when you grow up, I ask them, what do you want the aesthetic of your life to be?
Right.
And that's what you chase. You don't really chase like a career or a position. You chase what you want your life to look like. Right. So growing up as a youngin', I always thought like me going to the NFL would get me everything I wanted. Right. Or obviously that didn't happen, but I still got everything I wanted. I still got my dream car. I still bought a house. Right. I still traveled the world. But early on, I didn't realize like that's what I was chasing. Right. And I just thought like once I get to the NFL, all that money you get, I can just do all that. Okay. Not realizing I can still do that without going to the NFL.
So like you realized in college that growing up you weren't chasing the NFL. You were chasing what you wanted your life to look like.
I was chasing a certain lifestyle.
Your way to provide that was through the NFL.
Exactly. Right. Perfect.
Okay. And so if you could talk to your younger self, what do you think they would say? Not what would you say to them. What do you think they would say to you?
What my younger self would say to me? Yeah. I think my younger self would congratulate me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling like as a youngster, a lot of people don't know. Like I went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Some people can say I was a street kid for a certain amount of time, but I was intelligent and I learned my lesson quick. So I seen certain things, and I just, I got out of Dodge. I got the fuck out the way. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, get out the way and do you. So I think my younger self would be like, congratulations. I appreciate you for staying the course and staying alive for real.
Right. And so that kind of answers that next question that I have for you, which is, do you feel sports kept you on that straight path while growing up?
I would say, yeah, sports kept me on that straight path, but also like my village. You know, I
Okay.
think certain people came to my life at a certain time. So like my OG, my mentor, Ronnie Hayne, like I feel like he came in at a certain time.
Right.
And we have a saying now because now, you know, I mentor youth as he do for me. But we say we saving lives. And I really feel like he was one of those people that, you know,
Saved
saved
life.
my life.
Yeah, last time I did an article on you, you actually contributed one of your life's biggest influence to your mom and Ronnie. Yeah. So, you know, that still looks like that still
Yeah, yep.
stands.
To this day, yep.
Yep. So now we're going to get more into like, you know, your athletic career, you know, in detail. Like you said, you know, you never knew what your GPA was until college coaches started to come look at you. What was that process like? In high school as a senior or as a junior, now these coaches are contacting you to potentially offer you.
It was a weird situation. Like my high school career was kind of like it was literally like a roller coaster. So I started from Little League. Okay, pretty much I was the man in the Little League. So it's
Right.
like everybody knew that. If you played Wilmington in the Wilmington Little League, you know, like B. Wallace, the Panthers, you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of followed me to high school. It was literally about, I would say like a week or two before school started. I was actually at Haynes Park playing basketball.
Right.
And then one of the other players' dad came over, asked me where I was going. I'm telling him I'm going to Concord. He's like, nah, you're going to Pincater. So this is what I mean by the academics, me getting by. You had to take a test to get in Pincater.
Okay.
I didn't take a test. I literally went up there. They gave me the paper. I took it to my mom's job. She signed the papers. I took it back. I was enrolled. I remember the lady, Miss Deladine. She was at the time. She was like a custodian. She was riding. She was walking past, and she was asking, "Was I taking the test?" And I remember the coach saying, "Nah, he good."
Right. And like you said, so Pincater, that was a charter school, right?
That was a charter school.
Charter
Yeah,
school. So
yeah,
which is why you know they bust people from all over.
all over.
Which is why you know you had to take a test
To
in
get
order
in.
to place in.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So when now that you know you've gotten through Pincater and you know those college coaches are coming to you, you know, off of your you know your skill on the field. How did you know finding out you know your GPA? How did those things connect?
So so I'll say I had a good foundation my freshman year, you know, with you know the same coach you had, Coach Matthews,
Right. Yep.
and all those guys. So we had a good thing going. So at that time, even though I wasn't aware of my GPA, those guys were making sure that we was locked in on school as well as the field.
Right.
I remember my first kind of shown interest was from Shippensburg my freshman year. Some things happened after my sophomore year. Those coaches actually they wasn't there no more. They actually went to Howard, where you graduated from. That's when I felt like everything started falling apart.
Okay.
My junior year, I only played one game, just because I didn't even want to play football no more. So a lot of people don't know that. And then my senior year, that's when I played again. I remember Missouri actually sent some letters and stuff, and then they came to the school. And I remember the coach. He told the coach like, "Yeah, we can't do nothing with this kid. His grades is terrible."
Oh, really?
That's the first time I was like, "I ain't got no grades." You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm going to do?
Okay. And so, how did that like realizing that coaches are now looking at grades as well as they're looking at on the field? Did that affect your self-esteem as a player, as a football player? Hearing that, you know, what can we do with this kid? You know,
I mean, not really, because I knew it. I knew like you had to have the grades.
Right.
My mom always told me like your freshman year is like the most important year. So she was already like knowing what was going on, you know.
Okay.
But then, you know, the coach coming there, it was just like once he said it, it didn't really mess with my self-esteem. But I got something called athlete burnout. You ever heard of that? Athlete burnout. So it's kind of where you just playing a sport and you doing something for too long, it's just not fun no more.
Right. Okay.
So I had got to that point and I was just ready to hang it up. So I was like in my senior year, I'm like, it's cool. Right. I'm done with it. I still knew like I was that guy. Like if somebody wanted to line it up, I knew what it was. But it still was like I didn't want to play no more.
So it didn't. Yeah. So that didn't affect that self-esteem as a player at all.
At all.
And that kind of answers the next question. You know, what was the thought process in deciding to go to community college?
It really wasn't. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. I was walking down. Ironically, I was walking down the same street where I bought my first house, right? And it was around Coach Haney was walking down the street, and I was walking with a couple females and one of my homeboys. He was like, "Yo, what is you doing?" Right. And I'm like, "This is what I'm doing. I'm just running the streets." Yeah. He's like, he started his own club team for youth like me, like he mentored, and that's what got me back into playing football. So I didn't never have a plan to actually play. Right. He put the plan together for me, essentially.
And that is the Delaware Gamecocks.
That was Delaware Gamecocks. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I have here. You didn't go to college, but you still played football at
some would say the next level.
Yeah, so it was a weird situation because like he created a club team. However, you had to be enrolled in college.
Okay.
So I did go to college. I went to a college in Media, PA called Delaware County Community College. I used to catch the train every day, like 5:30, 6 a.m. to go down there to work on my associate's degree. Yeah.
And so did not kind of getting to, quote unquote D1 ball, did, like you said, it didn't affect your self-esteem. Did not accomplishing, kind of your primary goals, like, fast forward through college. Now you graduated with your associate's degree from
Delaware Community College. Then
from WMU.
WMU, and then after WMU, you enrolled in Delaware State University for your bachelor's. You went back to play football there as well. So,
fast forward after that, did, not, going to the NFL, did that affect, deter your life or aspirations?
Nah, so in between that was a big moment that happened that we got to mention. So I was having trouble getting on the field. Like everybody on the team knew like I should be playing, but I had a situation where I was playing behind some people. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really get to touch the field. Some coaches changes happened, and it looked like I was going to be on the field. I became a captain and everything. A week before the game started, before our first game against I want to say it was UD, I had found out I lost my eligibility, and I remember walking out the office and like just. It was another light that clicked on, or something clicked on that was like, you got to start your real life. And I already had a kid at that time. So I think that helped me like not kind of dwell on what just happened. It was more so like, bro, you got to go home. You got to get out your mom's house. You got to get, get your family situated. I had already got a car so I could be able to go back and forth to see my daughter. So it was more so like I didn't have time to dwell on what happened. It was more so like jump into your life.
Okay. And so that was actually, the next question, which is, did becoming a father in college, change your life path? It definitely changed your life path. But I want you to talk more about how, how did, kind of the intricate details of it all. How did that change? You realize, how did that light switch go off?
I had to be a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like while everybody else in college still kind of being immature, being a kid, like I didn't have that option. So I had to be a grown man. So like a typical day for me in college looked like, I went to workouts in the morning, then I went to classes, meetings, went to practice, ate dinner, then I went to work. Then I would get off of work 11, 12 a.m. or 11, 12 at night, whatever you want to say. And then I, same thing. On the weekends, I'm going back to Wilmington to see my daughter. You know what I'm saying? While everybody else might be at a party or whatever they got going on. So it was like, I had to be a grown man versus being a college kid.
Okay. And you would say having your first child kind of
catapulted you into that space of manhood. You didn't have like much other choices but to deal with what you had going on, right?
Exactly.
That brings me to you grew up, like you said, with a single mother, but you did have a village. What do you say to people who feel like single women can't raise men? What do you say to that?
I tell people all the time, like even when I post my mom and stuff, I tell them like people they say like a single mom can't raise a man, but like I'm living proof.
Man, stand here, right?
Like I'm living proof. Like my mom and I've heard people, family members, friends, just people just trying to figure out like how did she do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I told her like she laid certain foundations, and she set certain standards where I had, not only did I love her, but I had a certain amount of like respect and regard for her. So like it was just in my heart and my mind like to never disappoint her.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So like and then she was stern. She wasn't so much like at times she enabled me, but like for the most part she was kind of like strict, stern. Whatever you do, you gonna deal with it.
And that's kind of another tidbit to that is people say that, but then what do you call men who were raised by singles? Are they not men? So for me, that statement has never really kind of connected with me.
Exactly.
Because I know where we come from. Most of the men in our family are raised by single women. And some would say that our moms raised 5 single, 5 men. So that
definitely makes a lot of sense. How has you talked about losing your father at a young age? How did that affect how you parent? How did that affect how you parent and how you cherish parenthood?
That's major because just not having that, then I would still to this day live with that void. So
Right.
like just knowing how it feels to me, I would just never want mine to feel that same way. So it's literally that simple, but it's deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because every day that's what I go about. Like even simple things like people that tell you like I'm on every field trip, I'm at everything they got going on. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like I take them to school, I pick them up, everything. To me, it's like I don't even want to be late picking them up because I know how it feels. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the pop that's not there because I know they're looking for me. Because I know when I was playing and I'm looking at my friends like, man, he got his pop.
Right.
His pop's coming. His pop bought him new cleats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just know how that feel. You just don't want yours to feel that void.
And you know, like you said, having that void kind of showed you what it is without, and you never want your children to go without. And so, like you said, there also, you know, you're on every trip, you're on every you know, every conference, you're picking them up from school, taking them, you know, to school.
That is also goes into how you cherish parenthood. So you would say that, you know, not having your father makes you way more you know, sensitive to parenting.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, and so how effective has, because you know your children are raised in a 2-parent household, you are engaged to be married. So how effective has raising your children in the 2-parent household benefited thus far?
So that was important. That was important to me. I always knew, like, you know, just coming from a broken home, I just know when it was my turn, like that's not what I wanted.
Right.
Just because I know that the things that you know come with it is just more stability. That's what kids need. Kids need structure and stability at the end of the day. So just having that foundation just make life easier. You know what I'm saying? They feel supported. They feel, you just feel like double the love. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they're never going to be without because if mom's not there, you know, dad's there. If dad's not there, mom's there, regardless of the situation. And we got 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we will never be a situation where we have to pick who we support.
Yeah.
You know, I know my mom, once my little brother started playing, she kind of had to like
choose
what game she was going to. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know we would never have to do that. If anything, we could just split it up.
Right.
Based on their age and, you know, what they do.
Schedule and things like that. Right.
So, and that is also, you mean, you know, how has giving your children a different style of parenting help? You know, that's basically the same question there. But I do want to kind of touch on, you know, your relationship. How did, you know, the relationships that you saw growing up or that you experienced while growing up influence your perception of marriage and what partnership is?
So I had both examples. So, you know, I grew up seeing my grandparents who was married, but then I also seen like my mom and her situation with my brother's dad, and you know, my aunt, your mom, you know, and her situations, and it's like, which one do you want? You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like my grandparents was perfect, but it was like that was the goal,
Right.
and just polish it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of, it's funny how like with Papa, I'm kind of living his life. Like he had 3 girls, I had 3 girls. You know, it's kind of like
coming full circle.
Coming full circle, yeah.
And that kind of brings me to kind of like how you kind of transition. Like we talked about football, it didn't really go as planned, but it's still something that's still kind of integral in your life right now. I want to talk about how did you get into kind of your second career path, some would say fashion. This seems like an affinity for you. How did you get into fashion? When did you know?
So it always been like on me or in me, whatever you want to say. Like my boy Olu, you know that own Joyride. He always used to be on me like, yo, bro, come model. I need you to be part of the brand. I need you to do this, that, and the third. And because of the NIL deal, which is the NIL situation, which is totally different today, I literally couldn't. So as soon as I lost my eligibility, I'm like, yo, what's up? What we doing? So we linked up like almost immediately after, and that's kind of what catapulted like my fashion.
And so how would you say kind of having that backup plan or backup inspiration or backup talent, how did that help motivate you to go forward?
Actually, I kind of didn't even really see the vision, honestly. Like, and I'll be honest, like if I went to the league, if I was in the league right now, this is definitely my bop. How they kind of intertwine in the fashion with the sports.
Everything. Yeah.
Like I was doing that before, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, but just me just doing what I love, just getting dressed, taking pictures, it kind of just opened up the door, and then I was able to see like, oh, it's something here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that
kind of goes into that next question is when did you realize that the other talents that you possess, that you could be able to monetize those and make a life out
Instagram, I'm telling you, during the pandemic, I tell people this story all the time. Like, I literally just had, my closet is crazy, so I just have all these fits. And the pandemic, nobody's going anywhere. Well, I'm wearing this stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how am I going to get people's eyes on these fits that I got just in my closet? And I started doing little Instagram videos and stuff. And then Forever 21 reached out.
Okay.
That's when I realized, like, oh, you can make some money off this.
Right.
You know
Like
what
they
I'm
reached
saying?
out to you.
Yeah, via Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like, we need to do like some back to school stuff. We'll send you the clothes, do your thing. And I was like, oh nah, this is definitely
Right.
a way for me to make some money.
and where do you see this going? Like, where do you want to take your passion for fashion?
I mean, wherever it takes me, honestly, because like every day it's changing. Like especially with the social media and the TikTok and all that stuff, it's so many lanes. So some people like, I tried to have my own clothing brand. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? The stylist thing is like, you could do that, but then now it's done turned into where you don't really have to style anybody, and you don't have to have your own clothing brand. Businesses will reach out to you and just be like, make a video just wearing
my
this.
stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where it go. I don't know what's going to catch. I don't know where I'm a catapult after this, but I know just me being consistent in that realm is going to go somewhere.
Right. And you just talked about your fashion brand, Stay Wavy, Keep Grinding, because you are also a businessman. So I kind of want to talk to you about that. How what is your biggest setback and success when it comes to business and career?
The biggest setback was the losing the eligibility for sure. That was the biggest setback. You said the biggest
success as well.
The biggest success, I think that has yet to come.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm still working.
Right.
I have little milestones, but like the big bang hasn't happened
yet. Right. And so that's what other career avenues would you like to pursue in the future? What is something that you haven't done yet that you would love to do?
It's not much. I really want to just continue doing what I'm doing now, but just on a bigger scale. So everybody see how I do the flag football thing. I got my own flag football team. I got the Turkey Bowl. So just dive more in depth with that, because when I was telling everybody like, yo, flag football is the next thing, big thing, everybody looking at me like, man, that's some middle school shit. It's some niggas just playing out on the weekend. I'm like, but the NFL picked it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going into my 7th year of the Turkey Bowl, which is growing every year. So just things like that, just stand in those rounds that in my lanes and just keep on, growing it.
And like you talked about the annual Wallace Turkey Bowl, it's been 7 years
since you started that. How has creating sports teams and events
like the annual Wallace Turkey Bowl and the Delaware Badgers helped continue your passion for football?
It opens it up just for me. So what I tell my OG, what we tell each other, what he tell me is like, football is just a vessel for other things. You know what I'm saying? So like, even though I play with other men, I'm also able to build relationships where it's like I can mentor them. My coaches can mentor me. The older guys on my team mentor me, and just life things. You know what I'm saying? Like we were speaking about it earlier, like about the marriage thing. Like because of grandma dying, early, and Pop kind of being in his situation, he wasn't the one I talked to about like, yo, how do you propose? Where do I buy a ring? What's a good, that type of stuff? Those conversations was happening with older dudes on my team.
Okay.
So dudes on my peer that went through the same thing. So like football was just a vessel for me to just get into that two-way mentorship.
Right.
So it's not only tapping into like your passion,
you're also creating like a fellowship.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's definitely what football should be about, or what sports should be about.
Exactly.
What recreational activities should be about. Definitely shouldn't just be about doing the activity and completing it. That really kind of like sums up everything. Really, it sums up who you are, from your fashion to your passion for sports still. We've seen all of you making teams, we've seen you making events, but however you've worked in teaching, you've worked in community philanthropy. Will we see you maybe in the future at a later date create like a youth football team or a youth football league?
For sure. So everybody know I work at a team warehouse right now. I just in the summer officially got promoted to the recreation specialist.
Okay.
Hopefully with the new coming of the KCC, if anybody been watching that, we got a new beautiful building coming in, previously known as Riverside.
Okay.
They're gonna have a crazy like athletic situation or athletic complex over there.
Okay.
So hopefully I get some type of, recreation director position or something over there. But in the meantime, I'm cooking up something like me and my OG been doing different sports clinics and stuff. So we're gonna formally put something together like a mentoring program for athletes. Then I'm also going to either start, my own flag football team, or we're going to do like a 7-on-7 team.
Okay.
So one of those things,
coming down.
something's coming, yeah.
Okay.
And that pretty much wraps up kind of like the formal interview. This is, the Fashion Dad, but I couldn't let him go without getting some of his personal opinions.
Now this is a little segment I'm going to call game time,
right? So it's going to be your top fives, right? All right. So first, I need your top 5 NFL franchises
of your lifetime.
Of my lifetime, NFL franchises of my lifetime.
Yeah.
You gotta go with the Patriots.
Okay.
So my lifetime is 1994 to now. I'm going 1994. So I'm a Cowboys fan, but everybody say, you can. I actually can put them in there because they had 2.
Yeah.
All right, so I could do Patriots. You got to do Patriots. You got to do Steelers because they got the most.
Okay. Yep.
Them 2. Who want to put in there? Chiefs.
Okay.
Who else I want
More
to
recent.
put in? More recent, yeah. Who else I want to put in there? A lot of people want me to put the Eagles in there, but I can't really put them in there because they just recently they lost a lot. So
I don't think my producer's gonna like that.
Yeah, I'll probably put the Ravens in there before the Eagles.
Right. Because that early 2000s Ravens.
Yeah, they was crazy. Yeah, so I'll do them, and then who else I said in there?
You said we got Chiefs, Patriots, Cowboys,
Steelers, Ravens.
Yeah, that's a good 5.
Yeah,
that's a good 5.
Now this one might be a little controversial. This one might be a little harder. Your top 5 Delaware athletes of your generation.
My generation?
Yeah.
I always tell people the best person I ever played against was Jamel Jackson. Jamel Jackson. I can name some people I had on my team in high school, but my generation. All right, you got Jamel Jackson. You got to go with Chris Godwin because he's in the league. You got to go with him. You got to go with who I want to go with. Jerome Smith.
Okay.
I'm going with Daryl. And then Brian Norman. So y'all don't know them, just go on YouTube, type their name in, put Penn Cater High School at the end.
That's great.
You're going to see why I
chose that 5.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great 5.
And
now for the last 3, put Penn Cater for the last 3, I said.
Penn Cater, okay. So those last 3 were Penn Cater players. Okay.
Top 5 fashion influencers, like people you see on Instagram who got it going on as well.
In the world or just
in the world, period. Yep.
Fashion influencers. I'm going with my man Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
I fuck with Stephon Diggs heavy. It's a girl on Instagram. Her name was Good. I fuck with her too. She fly SGA. You gotta go with SGA. Fashion influencers. And it's sick. So I go. So some people pick athletes, but I'll be knowing the behind the scenes. Like I know, like this athlete has a stylist.
Okay.
So you got Dex Rob. A lot of people don't know him, but he styles a lot of the athletes that get recognition for being fly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll put him on there. What's that for?
Yeah.
I put me. I put myself because even though I ain't know it up there, I be seeing the influence in a lot of people.
Right.
I be seeing my influence on a lot of
reach
people.
of your influence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And okay, so now we've got top 5 original clothing brands.
Original. Joyride off the rip because I watched my man hustle since Pine Street like for years. Original. So I'm going there. I'm going Essentials. I think Essentials is original because like what it is. They don't do nothing flashy. It's pretty much like based off of comfort and the actual garments. Originals. Going that too. I'm going them too. What else? You gotta go with Nike.
Nike. Okay.
Yeah, even though Nike is
Was
the
original,
highest,
yeah.
the original, but you know they good at what they do.
Right.
What else I want to go with? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll take your top three on
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
my top three. I
Top
don't
three.
really got
Got
too much.
Joyride Essentials and Nike. That's a good list. Good list. And last but not least, give me two of the best places to put together a cost-efficient outfit.
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Go to Amazon. You can find any piece you want. You can find it off of Amazon.
Right.
So Amazon. See, I'm really like, even though I'm a fly person, like I really style stuff, so I can shop anywhere. So I can go to Walmart, I can go to Target, Goodwill, Family Dollar. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere. So like for me, it's nowhere's off the table.
Right.
Forming meals.
And find a piece.
And find pieces.
Right.
A pieces, anything.
Something. Right.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for you today. This was really eye-opening. I feel like, you know, not only did I learn a lot about you, and I've known you my whole life, but I feel like, you know, the people will, you know, learn a lot about you. I feel like there's a lot, you know, also to glean from this interview. You know, if you're youth and you're into sports, I feel like this interview is something that you can watch and kind of see yourself in as well. So I definitely want to, you know, tip my hat off to you. You know, you're a father of three. You're doing it out here in Wilmington. You're, you know, one of the biggest public figures there is coming out of Wilmington. So I definitely want to thank you for coming on the Crazy Talk podcast. Hopefully this isn't the last time we'll see you on the Crazy Talk podcast. Maybe the next time you have something big, you know, we'll see you again. But we definitely look forward to all that you have coming down the pipeline. Tell the people where they can find you and support you.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at TheEFashiondAd. That's two E's. So THEE Fashion Dad. Facebook is my name. You know, Brandon Wallace. You can follow the Turkey Bowl at the Annual Wallace Turkey Bowl. You can follow Badgers at Delaware Badgers. From Dad's Closet if you want to buy some stuff from me.
Oh yeah.
But if you go to my main page on Instagram at TheEFashiondAd with two E's, you can find all those other pages.
Okay. And that's all that we have for you today. It is your boy, Call Me Crazy, aka Kobe Nasir Wallace. Crazy gang, stay crazy, signing.